Something funky going on with my sound, but as long as you can hear me okay. Something on my end, I'd say it's these shitty headphones.
I always thought it was very ironic that these meetings are so like unanimously or ubiquitously recorded, because it's like the height of spontaneity, and that's also sort of what we're talking about. And then the commitment to recording, it bothered me for a long time. Not really, but just sort of like
Yeah.
as far as like integrity or something. But
Mm.
then I realized um, there's so many people that want to listen to it. So
Yeah.
it's sort
Yeah.
of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of it, really, Lauren. Yeah. I think I was talking about it a few weeks ago. I said I'm not going to record. And I mightn't record as many meetings actually. If I have a plan, well, I've kind of a plan for July and August. I'm thinking of trying to do more meetings, but because I'm not sure I can do the Sunday night one. Anyway, I'm gonna jig things up a bit, but I'd said that I might do more meetings and not record them. But the difficulty is I have quite a few subscribers that can't get to the meetings and they're subscribing so that they can hear the recording basically. So that's it really. But in a way, yeah, I might see could I do maybe half of them, just record half of them and then um yeah, certain logic to that. Just kind of you're there. If you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. And because
Or
there's nothing to get anyway. So
yeah, and exactly. It's like Tony says sometimes that it's every footstep on the way to the meeting this
mm,
is what is,
of
you
course,
know.
yeah, yeah,
But
mm,
but there's certainly like two things at once, because I fully believe that, and then I also really want to go to a meeting so I can resonate with what is in a way that I can't when I'm not at a meeting, you know.
mm.
At least that's how it appears.
Yeah. I understand how people feel. Like there's a lot of people all around the world listening to this on YouTube and maybe tuning into the meetings, but there's not really too many speakers coming their way or to coming too close to them, so they're not really able to get to a live meeting. So it becomes like it's hard not to think of it as there's something in those live meetings that's kind of extra to a YouTube. Um, and that you'd really want to get to one, but it's in a way there isn't at all anything extra. It, if what's being suggested resonates or is heard, it's what inherent in that is the scene that there's actually not even a meeting. It's not even a meeting really. There's nothing. There's no nothing. Um, there's nothing needed. There's nothing missing. Everything is whole and complete. So there's nothing to get. There's nothing to know. So really, like that's it.
When you say when you say there isn't even a meeting, is it the same thing to say the meeting isn't even real?
Yeah. The meeting is an appearance in the sense that it's what's appearing to happen, but it's simply aliveness appearing as a meeting. So in that, they say the lived reality of the individual, what you have then is a sense of living in the real and a sense that um, I'm living my life and things are really happening to me and to other people. And so everything is just real then. So it's a real meeting. That's the way it is. Like it started, however many minutes ago, it'll go on this long. There's this many people here. It's impossible to grasp it, like what I'm saying, because it's just, well, what do you mean? What do you mean there's not even a meeting? Like it's ridiculous. Like it's a Zoom meeting. Like we're on the Zoom meeting, or if we were in a meeting together, it'd be the same suggestion saying there it appears to be a meeting. It's an appearance. You could say another way of putting it is it's real and unreal. You know, the real is the part that everyone sees as the meeting. The unreal is that it's aliveness appearing as a meeting. You know, so that's like fundamental to the communication is this suggestion that nothing's actually really happening, but it appears to happen. You know, and the sense of everything being solid and real is from the sense of you being solid and real. And when you feel like you, then, you know, you have all of the features of that, such as causality, time, space, volition, you know, all of these things that feel like a very concrete reality. And it's actually that they're an appearance, it's a story.
Huh.
So you're a story, you know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone is a narrative, but they don't feel like a narrative. You doesn't. You're like you feel real. Of course you do. If you feel like you're really living your life, things are really happening to you, and you're having an effect on other people, on situations through your actions, through your decisions. Blah blah blah. It all feels totally real. You really feel like you're in there, looking out on the world. You know. And that's there's the question, and there's the yearning, and a sense of, oh, right, what am I missing? You know, what am I missing? What is it that I can't put my finger on? What is it? And you think
Yeah.
you have it, then you think you've got it for a while, maybe, and it kind of slips away on you again because it's not gettable. It's actually that it's already whatever's appearing to happen.
There's just a sense of almost, what is it, like, um, I don't know, it's either like safety or control that I just do the right things, and then there's no sense of um like obvious disorder in my face, and then but it's clear that it's not getting me anywhere, or you know, it might be a little more peaceful, um but all the time in the background there's this like remembering of a much broader, like, um boundless, you know, a boundless, um I want to say space or something where things were just coming in and always very vibrant
Yeah,
um and joyful, and also very like, um almost expendable, like you could just throw them away or move to the next one, it didn't matter. And I think I'm getting that feeling a lot more because I have this young child, and so it's like almost remembering back when I was,
yeah,
you know,
it
and
is.
I'll just have,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's what children are experiencing all the time. Yeah.
Well, it is about childlike wonder. Yeah, it this it's that everything is new because everything as a very young child, everything there's just really aliveness, and in that there is a narrative being formed after a certain age, and a contraction, a really felt contracted sense of a separate entity that seems to grow then. That's what appears to happen. But even at that, still there's just this causeless joy too, um, which gets appears to kind of get dampened down and then be lost as you enter your adulthood. You know, to some degree, like some people wouldn't really feel that that's the case, but it's quite a common thing for people to say. I wonder what it is I had when I was a child. Like there was some sort of kind of childlike wonder at the world. And a logical way to explain that a lot of people have is that, well, I was just innocent, really. I just didn't know how ugly the world is actually, because their world is incredibly cruel. And I was protected from that as a child. And I wouldn't agree with that actually. I don't think that's not what I'm talking about. Um
Yeah, no, no, no,
sure,
no.
sure you're not you sure you're innocent of how the world, how vicious people can be and agendas and all of that stuff. But it's not about, that's not what I'm saying. It's about, it's just this sense of kind of like you said it as well, like joy and kind of causeless joy, not really having anchored into some meaning and a vibrancy and a full on aliveness to, and this is a remembering of that because you are that and you didn't lose that, but what appeared to happen is you gained, something was gained. It's not that you anything was lost, but something was gained, and what was gained is you, is the sense of that it was stronger and stronger, that lived sense of a separate you. So it's very much about childlike wonder, yeah.
Yeah, it just seems for me like a lot like it has something to do with the body. Not like energetically, as we say.
It's all energetic, and
Yeah,
all there is energy. It's really, I can't find any other way to say it. Like all there is energy. All there is aliveness. And in that aliveness arises this sense of an entity who is alive, who has aliveness, who has a life, and a whole narrative around that, and it's not just the narrative. Like a narrative is an aspect of it or feature of it, but it is a contracted energetic sense of feeling separate. So that's cellular. Then that's a cellular sense of feeling like a you. So
yeah,
and therefore, of course, then any clear communication is not concerned with um knowing or nothing to, it's continually pointing out there's nothing to know, and that sense is, it's a resonance, like it's what's being said can be illuminated and it can resonate, and then it's just everything is the same and yet it's not at all, everything is new,
yeah,
and then it's impossible for it not to be heard like a carrot, because all the apparent individual who's hearing it will go, oh well, maybe I will fall away like Kenneth did or someone did, and something will happen to me. But it's not a happening. It's actually, it's indescribable. It's so ordinary and simple. It's just that there's just actually what's appearing to happen, in as opposed to the sense that there's, I'm here and it's happening to me, and you're there because I'm here, you're there, and it's happening to you. So there's a you that, and there's a me, and there's all that juicy stuff that goes on in between. Whether that's two countries in some sort of geopolitical struggle, or you and your friend or your family member. You know,
yeah.
it's
I
it's the
mean,
it's the
yeah.
other, and the
Well,
realness. And
yeah. There's no boundaries. Like that's so obvious to me that constantly, like I was sitting in a room in my office, and in came a colleague, and I felt a sense of sadness, and I was like, do I feel sad? Like, am I sad that he doesn't like me as much as he used to? Because
yeah,
I've been away, and then I was like just trying to figure it out. Like, why was I sad? And then he told me that his dog is sick, and I was like, oh, he was sad. Oh,
mm,
and it's just so interesting how the the like the mind or whatever wants to always take it back to something about itself, even though
Yeah,
it doesn't even exist. So, but
everything
that's
is
just
about everything is about me, really.
yeah,
It's all through this filter of me.
yeah,
And it's yeah, like you say, you can you can be it could be very obvious that that's a narrative or a story, and that you're laying yourself, you're adding yourself to it and thinking, it's to do with me and it's nothing to do with you at all. Like it's very impersonal in the example you gave, but it could also, it's what appears as personal too, you know. Like
yeah,
the person could have been angry at what appears as you.
yeah,
But
yeah,
and the difference there would be like anger is appearing to happen and appearing to be directed towards this character. And maybe it could be like, oh, the person is mistaken. It's all about, or it could be that actually, God, they've got a really good point. I was a bit of an asshole.
yeah,
And you go, wow, what
yeah,
was I thinking? That was really kind of rude of me there. And it blah. I suppose I could just talk and talk and talk, and I don't want to just ramble on. But what I'm saying is, it's whatever's appearing to happen. It's uh, it's whatever. It's but there's this sense of everything is first seen through the filter of me, you know, and all of those things happen. That, oh, is this person, the way they looked at me, or the way they said that, is, did I annoy them, or all of these things appear to arise out of that then. Whereas if there's no sense of you, it would just be, it would, all of those things could appear to arise, but it would just be energetically very different.
yeah.
It's
Well,
just what's
I
appearing to
feel
happen.
I've had that before, and I don't know if that's true. And obviously, me saying I've had that is a problem. But I went through a period of time where there was so much energy coming into my body and leaving my body that everything seemed like it was just like so, I almost want to say abundant or everlasting or like some word of there always being more. And so I never had to like, I don't know, it was hard to put into words, but it it took it it was similar to um what I remember from childhood. And yeah, anyway, I mean, I came to this meeting and I was listening to and thinking, like, I just want to be gone. I just want to not have the me. And then I started to realize, like, there isn't one anyway. And so,
Yeah.
like, what? Like, all of this that's happening is completely irrelevant. Like, I can't control it. It is what it is, you know?
Um, and it's not even really happening. This is nothing appearing to happen. Yeah. Mm. It's unknowable. There's just aliveness appearing as, you know, comfort, clarity, happiness, pain, discomfort, a thought, an emotion, and it's full on ungraspable, unknowable, and inescapable. And it's whole and complete because it's already everything, and everything is nothing. Um, that's not understandable what I just said there, really, because, and if you understand it, it's just a concept. Um, and it's incredibly simple and ordinary because it's already whatever's appearing.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Well, hi, Sheer.
Hi, Kenneth. Kenneth, I think to ask you why this me think that this body is my body, but actually the body is the body. But how come that the me come in and say that this is my body, or this is the body say that this is me?
I would say I would describe it as aliveness. Um, you could say playing the game of being separate to itself or whatever, or aliveness appearing to want to feel that it's a separate entity to the rest of aliveness, and I can't really give much of an explanation as to why, because that would just be a story. All I can say is that it's something that appears to arise for human beings, and out of a more an abstraction that's enabled out of a higher brain.
Yes,
It's a
because
higher
I
brain function, so it's a yeah.
because logically it's just I think logically that all there is this body. I mean, there is nothing in this body. It's sometimes it's feel that I don't know that me is depend of this body as the body is depend of me, But
Mm.
according this message, there is no me.
There's just body. So
Yeah.
life peoples, and in that sense of being a person, um, there's a sense of being an individual. So that's a lived energetic sense of, as you said, being in the body. Like it really feels, um, there's an outer and an inner, you know, dualistic play of opposites. Like there's an outer and there's an inner, and the skin feels like the boundary of me then.
Mhm.
um, and it's conceptually very logical that it would be the boundary of me. And then there's a mind map in the mind of the body, and there's a sense of where I am in the body too. I feel more in parts of than others or whatever, but very much a commonly reported feeling of being behind the eyes and looking out on the world, and then that's the way it is. It just, and then obviously it's a feedback loop in which everything in that reality confirms that reality. So it continues to just confirm itself all the time. So of course there's an individual. Of course you have a life. Of course you're living your life. And to say otherwise is kind of lunacy, really. It's just madness. And it's very scary for people. What do you mean you don't have a life? That sounds very scary. Um, and even when it is when it is suggested in spiritual texts or different kind of philosophies, it's often kind of softened up a bit so as for it to not sound too confronting, because it's just that's the reality that people feel they're living in. They're living their lives and they're meeting other people who are living their lives, and then it's a dualistic dream. It's a dualistic reality in which there's good, there's bad, there's special, not special, there's in, there's out, there's up, there's down, there's blah 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 blah, and all anchored into a lived sense of movement in time. So the clock is very much a feature, a central feature of separation. The clock is ticking,
Yeah.
and you're measuring from. It's a form of measurement
Yeah.
that there's time and there's space, because it's very real when it relates back to the sense of me. Um, I can measure things throughout any given hour or any day or week or a sense of longer measurement of the decades of my life, and I'm in this age now and this happened and I can recall things from when I was younger. All of it is just this, it seems to just continually verify for the individual that they are there and they have a life, and then everything in the news, eh, um, or what appears as media and information is very much feeding that sense of you being separate. So it's a thing that people, if they land on it themselves, like the idea maybe there is no me, usually they don't stay too long. Or if they do, they feel they're onto something. It would be like very hard for them not to think, oh, well, that's such a crazy thought. It just doesn't make any sense. It would be confronting and scary, you know. And you'd look for kind of an authority to confirm that. And maybe you'd find one in Buddhism or something that, oh, it's the illusion of the self, but that would have energetically maybe a different feel to what you landed on, because it would feel, yeah, I know what they're saying, but it's a little bit too controlled and too much of a concept or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
because I mean, I just can logically can say that the time when the me is born, the time is born.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
When
exactly it. Yeah.
so when the me is born, then it feels like the story is born, So start that the story also start.
Yes, of course. Yeah, because it's all there's that lived sense of feeling like you, and there's the narrative of that then, that you would tell your story to both yourself and what appear as other
Other
people.
here,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you're telling it, you're like it feels like there's a narrator there that's feels very real. That's kind of like in dialogue. You kind of feel like you're in dialogue with yourself,
Yes,
because
always,
out of a sense of
always.
self-consciousness and awareness. But what can't be seen really is that that's only really a feature of knowing. It's a feature of the sense of the abstraction of you, in which you can know, and an aspect of that knowing then is awareness and consciousness, and then that's how you feel you're kind of there, kind of chatting away to yourself in one way or another. Um, and there's a comfort in that too. So it can be very comforting, or it can work the other way and be very torturous if you start fighting with yourself. If you start fighting with yourself and you're continually losing, you know. So
I know,
but
you
anyway,
know,
it is what it is. But what you wouldn't, what's rarely suggested, maybe more so now, but more kind of that doesn't matter, but it's more so now than it was. But what's really suggested is that actually, uh, there is absolutely nobody there. There is nobody there. There's no you there. There's just aliveness, and what felt so real is a narrative. It is a story.
mm,
However you want to color that story, however you want to tell that story, throw in all the usual suspects of career and job and family and partner and sports and achievements and hopes and dreams and whatever you want. I don't know. It's a story though. There's nobody
yeah,
there.
you see, I mean, before I heard this message, I was just after the story, after the books and every books, Bible, Quran, and many books, And then after this message, I don't know how it dawned on me that all there is all the book, all I just throw it away, I never went again behind it.
Yeah,
But
no, books are just
because
it's
it
just words. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
because it dawned on me that this is all there is. There is nothing else than what it is.
yeah. It's so
Um,
it's so ludicrously simple.
you know,
Yeah,
this seeing, this hearing, this, and then also when mentally, we go through and to find out me, there is no way you can find you at all.
of course not. No, no. It's a
And
nice
yet,
idea. Yeah,
me and going on, so it's,
it
but
appears to.
many,
Yeah,
but many believe anyway, after this message is just gone, and I don't know how either. It's just gone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you
Nice to
very
see
much.
you.
Nice
Nice to
to
see
see
you.
you.
Yeah,
And it was a long time ago.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. See you again.
Mm,
Thank you.
thanks. My headphones are there and not there. They're 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 not there and then not there. They're there and not there. Really annoying, actually. What a crazy thing that I can't just keep my yeah, there we go. Boom, boom. But the way you would it's fucking ridiculous to just keep going. Um the way that we think of things is that they're there and then they're not there and then they're there again. And actually everything is empty. It's amazing because everything is just energy. So it's there and not there. Uh, um, empty fullness. But you can't get too far with the mind with that one because if for the mind it's either there or it's not there because it's that kind of dualistic play of opposites is essential really to knowing. Some people find it very difficult to hold two things up as being true that are opposites to each other, especially if they're not able to critically think in any way, shape, or form. And generally, people like there's a draw to, well, there's a draw to both, like, but there's a draw to simple narratives of this is the good guy, this is the bad guy, let's keep it simple, like a Dan Brown novel, a page turner. But the page turners get kind of boring after a while, and then people see that actually this whole gray area in the middle is kind of where things seem to happen.
Hi, Kenneth.
Hi Angie, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, yeah. I think I am. I don't know. I don't know what way I am.
Mhm.
I had a mad day to be honest with you, but I didn't have it either. It's just what appeared to happen.
Yeah, it's got to be one and not the other, eh? Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, sometimes people ask me, well, how do you know that they're both at the same time? And my answer is, I don't. I
Exactly. I don't. Yeah.
don't. But there's a feeling, a lived feeling of this can't be it.
Yeah.
And is it at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why like the life is in incredibly paradoxical. If you look into life with any discernment at all, it's stunningly paradoxical. Like it's amazingly paradoxical. But that's a problem for the individual, a big problem. Because they continually want to resolve the paradox of it, because it shouldn't be this way and this way. It should be either this way or this way, or whatever. And interestingly, when this is seen, then there's no issue with the paradox at all, because it's all just a story. It's just things appear as they appear to be, and that's how it is, and it's unknowable.
Yeah, and that's why we have this word paradox, to try to categorize those things that don't make sense to
Yeah,
us.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So speaking of looking in nature, I saw this video of a capybara walking amongst the crocodiles and not being attacked by any of those. Right? And then
What's a kookaburra? What is that?
capybara is a rodent, a bigger rodent
Oh,
from,
yes, I know them. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Capybara, yeah.
yeah. And the explanation was that capybara is so calm that the crocodiles sense that, and uh, they don't want to disturb it or something along those lines, which is, just an explanation to calm down the mind.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
to be able to categorize that into the paradoxical, put that
Yes,
into the
yeah.
paradoxical box, and move on to
Yeah.
the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like to not know, or have a hypothesis anyway.
Yeah,
But interestingly, like some of the best writings and expressions in science I've seen are very clear that they don't know, actually. And some of the most brilliant minds I've ever, not that it's a person, an individual, like the the most wisdom is from someone who says, "Yeah, actually, I don't actually know. You don't actually know.
yeah,
It's actually unknowable. Like it really is. But this is a model of what may be happening. But it really, and it feels to me, the more you move away from that, and the more people are sure about it, the kind of more stupid it gets, then the more ridiculous.
yeah. That
Yeah.
just becomes part of the layer, the assumptions that we build our understanding on, right? So
Yeah,
we
exactly.
explain that checkbox and then move on to more complex
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
concepts, more complex ideas,
And
build
it fits
upon
in with the
those.
agenda. It fits with in nicely with the agenda then. So therefore the one who's more sure about what they're saying is fits better in the circus that we call,
Yeah,
whatever this is, because it's the one who's saying, well, I don't know actually, and I don't think anybody knows. It's like, oh,
yeah.
can we get someone a bit better on than
Who
this guy?
knows? Yeah, someone who knows
Can
and
we
who's
get
confident.
someone with a bit of confidence and a bit of
Yes, an
authority in
expert.
here? And exactly, that's the word. Can we please get an expert? Because this guy is just saying it, it doesn't really know. He doesn't think anybody knows. I mean, what's
Yeah,
this guy? What are we supposed to do with this guy? How are we supposed to spin this news story?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's
Confidence
amazing.
sells.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. There's that dilemma that what's it called again? It's a double barrel name. It's the reason why idiots are so confident. Because they don't know enough to know that they're wrong yet.
They don't know.
So that's why we have to deal with all of these really overzealous, confident idiots that are
Yeah,
100% convinced that I can't remember. I keep forgetting the term for it, and it doesn't matter. Eh?
they really think they know, eh?
Oh yeah, for
That's why
sure.
they're
Yeah.
so confident.
Oh yeah, and to the point now, we've gone so polarized now that like it's quite clear that they will eliminate you, like, because if you are saying something in opposition to them, because they're right to, because they're right, so therefore they're right to destroy you.
Therefore, you're wrong.
Therefore, you're wrong because I know I'm right, so you're wrong. So of course I'm justified in destroying your career, um, doxing you publicly because your opinion is different to mine, I'm completely justified in completely destroying everything. Of course I am. And it's amazing. It's stunning. Well, okay. But it's just all aliveness. There's no them. There's no them that are doing that. It's just, this is the way we appear as human beings. We do this to ourselves. There is no other. There's a game of separation in which we continually, it's a zero-sum game, really, in what it appears as. This manifestation of it is a zero-sum game. So for me to win, you have to lose. And then we just manage the narrative. It's all just the narrative management. It's like that's the big thing now. You have to just manage the narrative because you control reality then.
Yeah.
And then and most don't really want to kind of scratch beneath the surface because it's quite unnerving. It's quite unnerving, really, to feel that some of what they're being told is nonsense. Because like if there's no if that's the case, then you question authority. If you question authority, you question reality. Really, you question everything. And that's very frightening. It's very frightening for some people. And then I also noticed that people who, I think of it now more of like noise, information noise, and it's all noise. And then there's this signal. There's a lot of talk about signal and noise, in different areas, like and it's an interesting way to think about it because the signal for me would be an energetic resonance in a sense of, okay, actually the way I thought that it was all this, and actually it's so obvious now that this aspect of the circus of life is actually not like that at all. And then what happens is once that resonates, other things, the dominoes can start to fall then. And it's like, oh, and then this this communication is just giving making a suggestion, not to anybody and not asking anybody to believe anything or do anything or know anything, but just simply that actually it's all a narrative.
Yeah. And
All
for
a
the me,
narrative.
stability is everything. Stability
That's
is what
everything.
it craves. Yeah.
Oh yeah, control of
Control. Yeah.
um
Con-
of like stability of the sense of my place in the world, and the world moving in a linear, progressive manner to something better. And
yes, towards something that is more beneficial for me.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that's, like you said, that's core to it, absolutely. And to be avoided, it would be chaos and madness and all of these all the messiness
Yeah.
that we label as different things. That is, well, that's not it, and and so you have to be always kind of on this side of things, in that because everything's about your reputation as well and how people perceive you, and that's
Exactly.
you live and die on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, people
As the
okay.
Buddhist say it's about the identities that you build, right? And then
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
clinging to those identities, right?
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You're
and then
just
you're suffering when you lose. You suffer when you lose those identities.
massively, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why a good example of that is someone who loses their job for a kind of more vocational thing, something that they really felt was core to their identity, and they can just have a nervous breakdown, really. Because who am I without this? Like, especially if it was the neurosis really kicks in where people who are very important.
oh yes.
Like if you fall from grace and you're a film star, an important famous person, like, I mean, then the suffering, it's just they just and just some of them can't cope at all
Or financial loss,
financially. Yeah.
even though they could still make a good living, it's not the same as before. So therefore, It's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's true. Like, did you notice that we're really intrigued by stories of billionaires who lost all their money? And the mad thing is, you'd read it and you'd feel sorry for them. You'd almost say, "Oh my God, I feel so sorry." It's
Yeah,
terrible. They had like
they
one
had
of the
so
biggest
much.
boats in the world, and they
Yeah,
had 25 houses all around the world, and now they have nothing. It's terrible. Now they only have a
yeah.
couple of million. It's so sad. The whole
Meanwhile, the rest of the world
what a shit show.
scrambled.
What a
Yeah,
shit show. Like, yeah, meanwhile, there's babies and children and women being killed. And we kind of, what we'll do is we'll just spin a narrative around it and you don't have to worry about it. Just look that way. Don't, it's a circus.
yeah.
We have people coming in and I think they got the time wrong. Lason, nice to see you. But I think you got your time wrong. Are they in? No, they're not in. They're kind of in the waiting room. Anyway. Um, so yeah, there you go. Really nice to talk to you guys. Yeah, I won't go into it, but it was a bit of a chaotic weekend, but nothing too dramatic either, but it is what it is. And my thinking is really over the summer, I'm gonna have to change things up a bit. And I'm gonna try to maybe do more Zooms, but I'm not exactly sure what time I can do them at. So I should not really uh I should just announce this when I'm sure, but I maybe a lunchtime one, and the lunchtime or either 1 or 2 o'clock, and I'm going to try and do them pretty much every day, like Monday to Friday, and just see how it goes. And as I've been saying for quite a while now, I've just been doing Patreon. Really, I've been doing no sort of kind of marketing, and even stopped putting on YouTube for a while. Um, but that's someone's helping me there, which is I really appreciate. So we're kind of putting some more stuff out there. But I might have to change the model and just throw it up to contribution again. So if I do that, then what I'll do is the recorded meetings would be for the 10 euro tier on Patreon, and what for the 20 euro tier on Patreon, I'm going to put more. I have loads of blended meetings from mostly all around Europe, and I'm going to start putting them up there, either the full day or definitely half the day. So that's instead of kind of saying that I'm going to charge for every meeting and you get for 20 euros, you get them all free. I'm going to kind of go back more to contribution for a while and see if that works. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll just put it in an email and kind of explain it. I'll just do that for 2 months, maybe July and August, and see how it goes. Because yeah, just that's the way it is. That's it, really. Oh, next weekend, yeah, I have to get back to Ryan. Actually, I know, were you talking to Ryan? Lawrence, maybe aware, but anyway, we next weekend we have a Friday evening in Galway, and I'll probably do I will be doing the Saturday morning too. But as usual, I didn't really advertise very well. So if anyone's interested, just let me know. But I'll send an email tomorrow about it, and I'll have that online as well, so you'll be able to join. And I'll be doing them more regularly then throughout the year on the Friday night and sometimes the Saturday morning as well. That's all I got for you now. Really, I have no other kind of major plugs. Still a couple of still some places in September in the retreat as well. So that's it, guys. Nice to see you all. Thanks a million.
Thanks, Kenneth.
Thanks. Great to talk to you. Bye.
Take care.
See you guys. Bye. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kenneth.
See you guys.